Welcome to episode 2 of Black is Evil and White is Good. It's another perspective with I, the mystic philosopher. The basic and indisputable fact, number 1, is that the word black, the sign black, the symbol black, and to take it a little bit further, even the very phonic sound vibration of the word black, especially in this, the English and others of the Caucasian languages, Caucasian cultures, the Caucasian Greco-Christian civilization, also known as the Western world and the Western society. Black mean and black represents nothing good. Black mean and represents no one that is good. The basic and indisputable fact, number 2, is that being named, called, labeled, profiled, carded, blacklisted, or to be listed as black is a curse. It is a spell of bad omen, an evil spell, an evil omen that is being cast upon us. And to consciously or unconsciously accept being named, called, labeled, profiled, carded, blacklisted, or to be listed black is to accept the curse and all of its consequences. And so, my people, it is with these and many other facts, many other truths that I personally know are indisputable, and facts that are therefore worthy of being exposed, facts that are worthy of the general public's knowledge, indisputable facts that are worthy of being revealed to the general public and to the world at large, indisputable facts that you, my people, my melanin people, and the world in general are entitled to know and to understand in order for us to start some respectful and informed discussions and reasoning. Respectful and informed discussions and reasoning first among ourselves. Ourselves meaning we melaninated people. We the Earth's organic humans of African ancestry. We the natural native earthly humans. And then respectful and informed discussions and reasoning among all the other people that are themselves ignorant of these facts. And that is why I am using this blog, this podcast, and other social media platforms in another of my attempts at soliciting some fierce, scholarly, unbiased, and informed comments and responses. Hopefully, and for the benefit of you, all my listeners and readers, a response may come from at least one courageous member of the 8 people aforementioned that still maintain their position of influence via the system's multimedia, and to whom my open letter and blog post was originally and currently being addressed. And just for the record, and to avoid any misunderstanding, I, the mystic philosopher, do not seek or solicit their responses to gain any of their acknowledgement, approval, or disapproval. Not at all. And please let me again, and also let me assure you, that such an assumption is or would be extremely far from the truth. I have clearly stated elsewhere before that I was only and that I am only seeking and soliciting their responses, one, because of their visible high melanin skin complexion. Therefore, I identify them as my melaninated sister and brothers of African ancestry that could be for our cause, and not necessarily because of their system's training and education or their system's mindset. And second, because of their current station and position in the system and the potential for them reaching and immediately enlightening and liberating millions of our people with the fact that we are not black and that Caucasians are not white. Now, doing that, I might admit, would and does require great courage, of which some of them just might not have and others just cannot afford at this time. In other words, they cannot risk losing all that the system has thus far blessed them with. And that is the only reason why I, the mystic philosopher, choose to mention them by their names. Above all, it is from you, my readers and listeners, that I do anticipate your continued comments, support, feedback, referrals, and the true universal sparking of these discussions on this topic, that black is evil and white is good. So with those then 8 people still in mind, and now far more new and current people added to the list, but whose names are far too many to mention, among whom are also authors, writers, internet bloggers, information researchers, and fact finders, educators, radio and television show hosts, celebrities, and personalities, and self-proclaimed black civil rights and black equal rights and justice activists, black community activists, and of course, no doubt, some of the most prominent, brilliant, and well-respected intellectual minds that currently have the ears, the hearts, and full attention of a huge audience of individuals genealogically traceable to being of original African foreparents that are now living in North America, the Caribbean, and the world. That I, the mystic philosopher, a humble seeker of the truth and clarity of expressions and thoughts, hereby humbly ask of you to please work with me and answer and explain to me, to your audience, and to the rest of the world, while using any or all of the thoughts producing criteria, namely intellectual, rational, logical, grammatical, semantic, linguistic, etymological, physical, racial, philosophical, spiritual, or metaphysical, you name it, to answer the following 20 questions, or 20 or so questions. Beginning with question number 1. How is it, or when or let me repeat. How is or when can the English word black equal in value, stature, status, position, meaning, and definition to the English word white? In other words, under what circumstance or circumstances can or is the English word black equal to the English word white? Question number 2. If black is the opposite of white, please explain how or when can opposites be equal? In other words, if opposite, according to the English dictionaries, truly mean and truly defined as, and is truly defined as, quote, diametrically different, of a contrary kind, unquote. Another practical example of the meaning of opposite according to the dictionary, the English dictionary, is, and I quote, a person or thing that is totally different from or the reverse of someone or something else, unquote. Now, from that example, if a person or a white man is totally different from someone, a black man, or if a person, a white man, is the reverse of someone, a black man, then can you please explain how or when can a black man be equal to a white man? Question number 3. If the word, sign, and symbol black, especially in English and other Caucasian languages, Caucasian cultures, and in these Caucasian dominated Western societies or society, means and is defined as bad, corrupt, impure, a threat, threatening, suspicious, guilty, ugly, without moral goodness, disgraceful, inferior, dismal, bad, or bad lucky, evil, and the list goes on. Could you please explain how or when or under what circumstance or circumstances is bad, which is black, equal and is the same as good, which is white? In other words, black is bad, black is corrupt, black is impure, black is a threat, black is threatening, black is suspicious, black is guilty, black is ugly, black is without moral goodness, black is disgraceful, black is inferior, black is dismal, black is bad, lucky, black is evil, and the list goes on. And if the word, sign, and symbol white means and is defined as good, pure, innocent, delightful, perfect, beautiful, sinless, trustworthy, the epitome of moral goodness, light, superior, and the list goes on. In other words, white is good, white is pure, white is innocent, white is delightful, white is perfect, white is beautiful, white is sinless, white is trustworthy, white is the epitome of moral goodness, white is light, white is superior, etc. Again, could you please explain how or when and under one circumstance or circumstances is bad, which is black, equal and the same, and is the same as good, which is white? Question number 4. If the words black and white in the English language are indeed adjectives, adjectives meaning they are used to describe, define, to limit, explain, or to express the quality, the condition, or the characteristics of nouns and pronouns. And if the word people and man or woman are indeed nouns, and were white people, now listen carefully now, and were white people to be found to exist and to be living on our planet Earth or elsewhere in the universe, could you please explain using any or all of the aforementioned criteria how or when black people are equal and the same as white people, and how or when a black man or a black woman is equal to and is the same as a white man or a white woman? In other words, without appearing foolish, by logically contradicting one's own basic common sense, or without displaying and being intellectually dishonest, how or when can you ask or expect equal rights and justice from the system for things or people that are diametrically different from each other? How or when can you ask or expect equal rights and justice from the system for things or people that are diametrically the opposite of each other? Tell me. Question number 5. If we melanin people of African ancestry were to humbly admit to the fact that we are using our ancestors, conquerors, slave traders, slave masters, and today their heirs and successors' language, yes, the English language, to communicate our innermost thoughts and to express our good intentions, is it at all possible that if we are consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, choosing and using the wrong words, the wrong sound vibrations from our conquerors, colonizers, enslavers, and oppressors' language, yes, this the English language, to define, to describe, and to express ourselves and to say what we truly intend to say? Is it at all possible that we might not be getting the results that we desire, or the results that we may truly deserve?